The manhunt is underway, and they're saying that it took 10 days, at least 10 days of planning for the suspect who had been in the city since November to execute on this plan. Check it out.
This morning, authorities are still searching for the gunman who killed UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Yesterday, New York City police released these photographs of a person wanted for questioning in connection to that murder. Joining us from outside the Hilton Hotel in Midtown Manhattan, where the CEO was killed, is NBC News correspondent Sam Brock. Sam, what's the latest there?
Sure, Willie. The latest is it's a new day and a new timeline, according to multiple law enforcement officials telling NBC News that they believe the suspect in this case took a Greyhound bus from Atlanta to New York City, arriving on November 24th, 10 days before the murder right here. That is 10 days of planning and potentially staging, Willie, and also an eyewitness confirming he at one point shared a room with total strangers. At this point in the investigation, police are combing cameras all over Manhattan as the manhunt now entering its third day. This morning, new camera angles and critical images are emerging that appear to show the suspected gunman sought by an army of law enforcement for the murder of UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson. The suspect arrived in New York 10 days before the murder. Police are investigating whether he paid cash and used a fake ID to rent a room at an Upper West Side hostel, according to two law enforcement officials. Authorities say these clear photos are of a person of interest taken at the hostel, where the man had a flirtatious interaction with a woman working at the desk, according to a law enforcement official familiar with the matter.
Well, of course he did. So, number one, of course he paid with cash. Number two, he did have a flirtatious event. You know what flirting does? It distracts you, especially for women. It distracts you. The minute that you walk in and you give a woman a compliment, it don't even have to be nothing to, with regard to like how sexy she is and none of that. Women get that all the time. First thing you do when you interact with a woman is you compliment something that other people are not paying attention to. Whatever it is, if she's a person that you think gets compliments all the time, then don't comment on, her looks or how great her breast is like an idiot. Compliment her on something that, is out of the normal. Tell her how intelligent she is or something stupid. You know what I'm saying? And what that does is it distracts them and it removes all suspicion because they so focused on making sure that they serve you and that they're doing a great thing. When you tip good, people go out of their way to make sure that you're taken care of. It's just the facts. If you don't want a lot of suspicion given to you, then make sure you take care of everybody that's around you because they're going to make sure that you're good. You got to feed the wolves so that they're not hungry. If you feed the wolves will protect you because they know where their meal is coming from. But if your wolves is always hungry, then you're the one that's going to turn into food. It's an easy distraction.
Got a male, unknown race, black mask, cream-colored jacket, black gloves, about 5'10".
There's also a wave of new videos tracking a man who may be the suspect around New York City. From this shot of someone with that distinctive gray backpack leaving a Midtown subway station at 6:15 a.m. to this footage of what looks like the same person bending over near a pile of trash near the site of the shooting. And police are investigating this video taken right before 7 a.m. that shows a man 30 blocks north of the murder scene about 15 minutes after it happened, biking near Central Park, this time with no backpack.
Wayne said the fact that this guy has evaded 3 days in a populated urban area is insane in itself. He's good. I used to watch this show called The First 48 on all the time. I don't even know if it still comes on, but it was a show that used to be called The First 48. And they say that the probability of solving a crime goes down significantly if it is not solved within the first 48 hours. I believe that the FBI is on this. The CIA is probably on it. Who knows? The CIA is probably in on it. The police departments is on it and all of that. Whoever this guy is, he's probably laying low, laying really, really low. He not moving around. He not trying to figure out where he gonna go. He not crossing state lines. He done probably changed his clothes, changed his haircut, probably had a different haircut before he ever went into and did anything that he was gonna do. If he stay down for about a month and a half, 2 months, and he just live a normal life and just stay out of the way, if he's playing effectively, he'll have a better chance of being able to survive and get away with it. But I think that they're going to eventually catch this dude.
We're on the right path, and we believe we're going to apprehend this person.
Those images showing the person of interest's face could also allow investigators to use facial recognition technology to ID him. At the hostel where they were taken, witnesses in shock. One saying she shared a room with two strangers and checked out the day of the murder.
It makes you second guess who you're actually staying in a hostel with.
A senior New York City law enforcement official telling NBC News that before the shooting, the suspect bought 2 protein bars and a water bottle from a nearby Starbucks, and that authorities were able to locate and collect the discarded items, which could contain vital clues.
It could be some sort of physical evidence, a fingerprint, maybe even some sort of DNA that they can trace.
The around-the-clock manhunt continuing to find an elusive killer responsible for one of the most shocking murders in recent New York memory.
And Willie, healthcare companies appear to be reacting immediately to try to protect their leaders. According to an NBC News digital analysis, companies like CVS Health and Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield have either edited or taken the photos of executive leadership off of their websites. CVS Health confirming they did in fact take those photos off today. We're still waiting to hear back from Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield, but it is interesting in this wider conversation right now. One of the top risk management groups in the country also telling NBC News that high-level execs and CEOs are reaching out, looking right now for added protection. Willie?
Yeah, and I think a lot of people in security and law enforcement are surprised as the CEO, given that we'd heard there had been some threats, was walking alone that morning, on that tragic morning. Again, Brian Thompson, the father of 2 boys. So, Sam, more on the investigation and the pursuit by the New York Police Department.
Somebody said they going this hard for a CEO, but not everyday people. Yikes. What do you mean, not everyday people? Everyday people don't even assist the police. Y'all don't believe in no snitching. Y'all say, no, we can't have that. No, we not telling. Most of y'all already know who the killers are. You know who the killers, the dealers, the stealers, and everybody else that's in your neighborhood and in your environment that's doing all of the negative. Ain't nobody surprised. 98, 99% of the people out here is not being killed by some kind of assassin that planned it 10 days. 98, 99% of the people is being killed by somebody that crashed out from somebody that they already know, and everybody ain't saying nothing about it. And so y'all not even assisting in the people that y'all know what's going on. So you can miss me with that. Stop. Hey, listen. This is what I need y'all to do. Stop acting like y'all don't understand what the game is. Stop acting like y'all think that like y'all important. Y'all be sitting there acting surprised. Why they don't go this hard for regular people? Because you ain't important. And you already know, and your people know who already did it to you. Y'all got to stop. Stop. You're not high profile. You don't make $15 to $20 million a year. You don't pay a lot of taxes. When you pay a lot of taxes, you get a lot of assistance. We don't go this hard for regular people because you're worthless. You don't add nothing to society. As a matter of fact, some of y'all not being here probably contributes greater to the GDP. Because now we don't have to spend as much money supporting you for something that you're running in the Victim Olympics about. When you're adding value, people care. When you add value, I'll give you an example. I know people hate me using this example or using myself as an example, but I'll do it. I pay the most in the building. In this entire building, I pay the most in here. I tip the biggest, I pay the most, I help the people the most. I even hired a person that used to work here as a valet. He now works for me in another capacity. You know what that yields? Love. You know why? Because people like being around people that take care of them. So the owners call me on a regular basis, or they meet me and they say, Anton, can we go out for dinner? It's the honest to God truth. They call my wife and check on her and making sure that everything is happy. Hey, you gonna stick around, right? They know that I got a platform and they don't want to get any negative publicity because I have one of the biggest platforms inside of Michigan. You know what that is? It's called power. It's called power. Whenever I even get an order, the concierge come and pick up my trash. They pick up my trash. They come and check on me. If I put in a request, hey man, I'm a little bit chilly. Immediately they there. It just is what it is. It's life. Y'all be acting like y'all so important. I'm a regular person. I'm on social services. Why they not hunting down my person's killer? Get on out of here. You're not even they don't care nothing about you. You're not that important to them because you haven't made yourself important in society. That's the truth. That's the honest to God. That's the part that people hate about me is that I will tell you the truth. I don't really care. People, here we go. It's gonna be another sad sap that's out here making a video. Anton is not caring about my circumstances. He don't really take into account what I'm going through. Guess what society cares about? Not what you going through, because you don't have no value. You don't have no value. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. If you are dumpster diving every day, the only thing they want to do is make sure the police protect them from you for going inside of the dumpster because you're making them look bad. Nobody cares. If you want to have somebody care about you, you need to add value into their life. That's the truth. The only person that ever cared about you was your mama. Your daddy didn't even care about you. That's why he didn't stick around. He didn't even check on you. You got to hunt him down instead of him hunting you down to find out what happened to his son 18 years later. Now you got to go and find out who your daddy is. Only your mama cared about you. Because you didn't add no value in the society. If you want people to care, then you got to be meaningful. You got to be purposeful. You got to add value into people's lives. That's the truth. They don't care about regular folk. Are you an asset or are you a liability? Because the only thing I care about is if you get the piss out of my face. That's how society treats you. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. You know what? My bad. I apologize. Everybody cares about you. You are good. And we really, really do care, even though you are a nuisance. You always trolling and you say some of the most negative things in the chat and in society. We really care. Hey, did somebody check on them? But for people that make themselves visible and they're nice to people and they add value into other people's lives, we remember when they're not around. Hey, hold on. And anybody see sister? Anybody got her phone number? Make sure y'all check on her. I ain't seen her in a while. I don't like that. Is she there? Is she this? You know why? Because sister is one of the most sweetest people in the world. If she never gave nothing but, hey, y'all, where Messi been at? If your car didn't pull up for 2 days straight, or if you didn't text me, I'd be like, hey, man, what you doing? You breaking up what we got going on because this is outside of the norm. If I didn't see Azriel pulling up at a meetup, hey, where that tall drinking water at? We ain't seen her in a while. We pay attention to the people that's valuable. We don't focus on the dusties. And if you want to add value into people's lives and you want to be remembered, then you have to do things that is positive and add value into people's lives. Otherwise, ain't nobody checking for you. Don't nobody care about you. They're going to forget about you tomorrow.
Of the suspect, the person of interest whose face we saw on the security camera from the hostel. As we now move 48 hours away from the murder of the chief executive of America's largest healthcare institution, where do they feel like they are in the investigation right now?
Sure. At this point, we're still waiting for an identity.
Even Eric D. Hey, man, y'all seen Eric D? He crazy, but he our crazy. He our crazy cousin. Hey, where Eric D at? We don't know what we talk junk all the time about Eric D. Hey, man, Eric D crazy. He need to come over to the Democratic Party. Y'all will go crazy if y'all ain't see Eric D in the chat. Hey, man, y'all act like y'all wouldn't care. Hey, you gonna whisper it though. You seen Eric? I ain't seen him on After Hours. I ain't seen him on Millionaire Morning Show. What happened to him? That's my guy, Eric. What up? Oh, here come Eric. What up trolling again? People care about people that add value into their life. It just is what it is. You a nobody because you a nobody. And for all of y'all that always say, and I know this is completely off the cuff, but this is what we do on the Millionaire Morning Show. This is the Millionaire Derailment Show. For all of y'all that always say, and see, listen to what you say on a regular basis. You say this, you be like, that's why I stick to myself. I don't say nothing to nobody. Well, nobody cares about you either. That's what happens when you always stick to yourself. And it's cool to be out the way and not in trouble. But when you don't have nothing to say to nobody, nobody cares about you because you're not memorable. Ain't nobody checking for you. You pass away in your house, they don't find you till 20 days later because they got a smell, not because nobody sent something out. If I didn't show up tomorrow people would be trying to if I missed the Millionaire Morning Show without an announcement, there is so many people that would be hunting me down. You know why? Because I add value into their life. One way or another, either my enemies. What's going on? What you doing? Because they want to know.
Really, it's not clear that law enforcement knows the specific identity, although they may, of the person they're looking for. But this sort of portrait of camera images is fascinating when you look at the swath of how far it spreads, really from 54th Street, where I'm standing, to potentially video of someone who could be the suspect on a bike 30 blocks to our north. So we know at this point that it encompasses a large area from Midtown to really the Upper West Side, and then all the way up to 103rd Street, right, like 50 blocks from where we are right now at this hostel where police are investigating whether or not he used a fake ID, paid with cash. Here's what's critical about this bus trip. Even if it was a fake ID at the hostel, police can go through the ticket passenger list there and be able to find out whether or not an identity matches something they have on file with this particular person. So maybe there's a lead in that vein, but your guess right now.
The one on the right, the picture on the right looks like a girl. I don't know if that's AI, if they use some mishmash crop of photos to put together something. You know what I'm saying? It honestly, the one on the right, the picture, the photo on the right, it looks like a girl. Looks like a European girl. And then the one on the left looks like a European man. I don't know. The one on the right looked like a straight up girl. But I don't know, man. It's getting dim. It's getting dim out here in these streets. They haven't found this person, so it should be interesting of how that's gonna play out. So as usual, I'll keep you guys up to date on what's going on out in these streets.